So a question I get from a lot of clients is, how do I take my old PowerPoints from my old in-person trainings and convert them into videos and courses using AI? So they want a really fast solution. So some people have, hundreds of slideshows and they want those easily converted into e-learning courses. And there is not an easy solution. I can tell you that there's not an easy solution, but I have some things that will make it easier. So the first important thing is that every slide needs the notes and they need to be cleaned up. So that would be your step one, is to go through and clean up the notes so that they could be turned into a voiceover. Once you have that done, then you have three options. You have many options, but there's three really good options. One is to use Canva. That's a very good option. A good option is Synthesia, and an excellent option is using a new thing that you probably will be surprised by. It's called Google Vids, and it's a new feature that Google has where you create videos, and you're going to be probably absolutely shocked at how much easier it is to handle a slideshow using Google Vids. But I'm going to start with the very good option here, which is using Canva. So I have this slideshow in Canva, and this is all about taking senior pictures. Okay, so this is a slideshow about different strategies and different things to consider when you're taking portraits. And so you'll notice here in each slide has notes. So I went through and I made sure there was, good talking points there. Then from there in Canva, you would get your voiceover. So you would basically take the notes for each slide and you would turn them into a voiceover. You can do this right within Canva. If you go to apps, you can search for voice, and there's all kinds of options here. You could use something like 11 Labs. You could actually make it your own voice. In fact, you can present this and record as you're presenting, and you could do it that way. Of course, when you have to present, that's part of the hassle that people have run into, is that takes so much time. And so they want something automated, like an automated voice to make this quick. So I'm just going to demonstrate to you how you would turn a slideshow into a video using Canva. So you get your voiceover on here, that you add a voice file to this track here. You just drop it in, and then you choose duration, and then you select any object on the slide that you want to work on. And actually I'm going to work on the first slide, so I'm going to highlight that. Select any object, and you will see it comes up here on the timeline. So this is your timing of when that content is going to appear on the screen. So generally you want to time out content to appear with the voiceover. I'm going to stretch this out because this voiceover applies to everything on the slide, and then we'll just start it.
Part of a teen or senior portrait session.
So this is this first section here.
Your focus should be on a single individual, aiming to tell their story through intentional posing and compositional choices.
So maybe what I'll do is I'll start having these pictures populate the screen now. And so you select each item and you adjust the timing. And on and on. So let me just show you. Now these I did not adjust the timing, so they're on there from the beginning, but let's look at the ones that I did adjust.
Through intentional posing and compositional choices. It's not just about taking a picture, it's about...
Now you'll notice how they just suddenly zap onto the screen. You can actually make this animated, and it's going to be more pleasing to the eye, and basically all you do is select any object, choose animate, page, magic animate. This is going to animate every single object in the slideshow, as well as any object you add in the future. So basically you pick the style you want. I'm going to go with energetic. And now every object that's added to the slideshow will automatically be animated. So let's try this again so you can see what a smoother experience this is.
And compositional choices. It's not just about taking a picture. It's about capturing a moment.
So in a presentation, generally you'll have different objects and graphs and stuff that need to pop on the screen at a certain time, and that's how you do that. And you can adjust your slide length right here, so you can make it shorter and longer. And to add a transition between slides, you hover between, and then there's this little button, and then you can pick which one you like, and then you can actually apply it to all of them, or you can pick different transitions as you go. Once you have your whole slideshow done, you're going to go share, download, you'll do MP4, and so on. If the video is over 2 hours, it won't download. So don't make any videos on here that are over 2 hours. Now the other option is to use Synthesia. So basically I would need to get this in a PowerPoint format. I did actually create this specific presentation in Canva. So I need to get it out of Canva and into PowerPoint. So I'm going to, or into a PowerPoint format. So I'm going to go ahead and get that downloaded, and then I'm going to go into Synthesia, which is a good option. It is actually my least favorite, and I'm going to show you why. Because I did take this very presentation into Synthesia, and I've actually already done this in the past because it takes some processing time. I actually did this in 2 ways. In one way, I used the AI video assistant. And so I uploaded that presentation, and I just let the AI model figure out what the important points were. And this is what I got. So it basically summarized it. It was not a script. It wasn't word for word. It basically summarized the key points. And it did a very good job, but you'll notice all of the examples of someone relaxing as part of a portrait are not teenagers. It's not senior pictures. It's not even portraits. This is like stock photography examples. And so, I mean, if I was going to use this, I would need to go through and update a lot of stuff. And look here, this doesn't even fit. This needs to be adjusted. They don't even fit on there. So that kind of bugs me. I did not like this. This required too much of me going back and making edits to make it actually meaningful. So let's look at whenever I chose to import PowerPoint. And let me just actually show you what that's going to look like. We'll just pretend like I'm going to do this again. You upload your file, and then you have an option to enable text element editing. In the past, a PowerPoint slide was just imported as an image, and you couldn't adjust the timing of anything because everything was just one object. So everything was on screen at one moment, and you couldn't make any edits. Now they're allowing you to enable the text. So now the text will be separated from the slide, so you can at least make edits to the text, and you can make it appear at different times. And you can choose to convert the speaker notes into scripts, which that is definitely what I want, because I want that script. I took a lot of time to make that happen. And then here is what I got for that. Okay, so here we have my exact slides. And the only thing that is adjustable is the font. Now, in this case, because the font that I used in Canva was not available in Synthesia, it changed the font. So that is going to probably cause like some layout issues I'd have to go through and fix. And you can see now the formatting is messed up on the bullets, because I went ahead and kept that text, in place. That I would have to go through and fix that. It also added this weird like date thing to the beginning. I don't know what that's from or why it's there. But it did convert all of my script into voiceover. So that was good. So this is not horrible. This is not horrible. But again, I can't animate these images. They're all just going to be there on the screen all at once. The good thing about this is I could add an avatar. So if I wanted to, I actually have an avatar of myself. I could choose, I could choose myself, and it could be me, talking. And that's nice. So even though I can't have movement of the objects, I can have a person talking. I do like that. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to use Google Vids, which to me is the the no-brainer option here, especially considering Synthesia. I think this subscription I'm on, which gives me about 10 minutes of avatar footage in a month, is $30. And for Google Vids, I am paying for the Gemini subscription. And with that, I get Google Vids, and it's $20. And so let me just show you how to do this. Okay, so you go here, and the first thing you want to do is get your PowerPoint into Google. So I'm going to upload that. Now I'm going to have the same issue here because the font is not installed on Google that I used in Canva. So I'm going to have the same problem with the formatting. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is open this up as a Google slide and make any updates to the formatting before I import it into Google Vids. So I could also do it in Google Vids. I could make all those changes, but just in case I have a problem and I want to reuse the PowerPoint, I want the original source to be exactly what I want it to be. So that's how I'm going to start this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. It's opening it up in Google Slides. We're going to fix all the formatting issues. Don't know what that's all about. Okay, so I'm going to go through here. So you noticed there how the font did not come through. I don't really like that that's not lined up. And this, my text, actually, I guess I need to make it smaller. Okay, that will work. So I'm going to go through here, make sure all this looks good. So, okay, this one. Okay, so now it's perfect. So if I want to make multiple Google Vids out of the same slideshow, it's all ready to go, formatted, looking good. Okay, now I'm going to go back to Drive and I'm going to go to New, Google Vids. Now, keep in mind, I am on a paid plan here, and that's why I have these options. You may not have all of these options here. And what I want to do is convert slides. So I'm going to choose that, and it's going to take me into Drive and have me pick the slideshow that I want to convert. You can select which slides. Of course, I want all of them, and I'm going to import. Now, Google Vids works in a very similar way as Canva. You've got your timeline down here. I'm going to go ahead and show timing. And basically, it's going to show me the timing down here. I got to select which objects I'm wanting to see. And I can adjust when they appear on the screen. So, same thing. I'm going to show all timing. So here you can show timing for just each object one at a time, or you can show all of it. Sometimes when you have a lot of objects, you don't want to show all of it because look. Because look, there's a lot there. So I can't really actually get it all on the timeline at once and still see my screen. So anyway, to adjust this, same thing. You're just going to move things along. And the nice thing here is that you have all of the objects have remained as objects. So you do have full control over changing the text and changing each object. Let's just take a listen here. Okay. Now, on this, you cannot animate every object all at once. I wish you could, but when you select one, you can see here animation. You can just pick the one that you want. Let's see if we can choose all of these. I actually have not tried that. Okay, looks like you can select all of them and apply one animation to it. So that's actually pretty nice. That's going to save some time. Now, you're wondering about the script. Over here, if you select script, you will see that all of the notes were automatically imported. And I have two options for getting this voice. I can record it myself and just sit here and read it while I'm recording it, or I can generate the voiceover. When you do, you have a few choices. So I'm going to choose change so I can pick a voice.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will
Okay, so you pick that and you choose insert voiceover, and it's going to take a moment to generate the voice. Okay, so it stretched out the slide so that the voiceover could fit on the entire slide. And it's the same thing as in Canva. You're just going to go through, you're going to play this.
As part of a teen or senior portrait session, your focus should be on a single individual.
And, you know, adjust your timing as things need to pop up on the screen and what have you. So you have your script here, and you have those two options to record or generate a voiceover, but you actually have a third option, and that is to use an avatar. So let's go to the next slide. We're going to choose avatar, and then we've got to go pick the avatar that has the
voice
same
you
voice.
select.
Now, they don't call them the same thing, so you just have to
The voice
listen.
you select makes a difference in how viewers...
I think it was Olivia. I think that was the one. So I've chosen her. Now, there's a problem here. I can only have 500 characters per slide. I did not know that until I made this video, so I'm just going to get rid of them. That is something to consider. Now, on the voiceovers, there was not a limit. Just doing a voiceover? Yeah, there was.
When you use them to tell each individual's unique story through your lens.
Okay, on the voiceover, you can go more characters than 500. When you're doing a avatar, it's got to be within the 500 characters. Okay, we've just learned that. So now we're going to do preview, and basically it's just going to show you what it looks like. And I'm actually...
Let's talk about what is arguably the most important element of any
I
quality
think that's
photograph.
a different voice.
Lighting.
But
Getting
I'm
this
just
right
gonna
can completely
generate it.
transform your images.
So they're going to show you a little preview, but that is the lip syncing is actually not going to match the voiceover. They're just showing you like this is what this person looks like when her lips move. And then it's going to render it. And basically it is the same thing. You're going to have the avatar clip on the timeline, and then you're going to adjust the objects to appear with the avatar. While we're waiting on that to generate, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. We do have transitions here between slides that you can change them. There will be a default transition applied already, so that's nice. But it's kind of nice to have them different. Let's go back to our avatar, 54%. While you're in Google Vids, you also have access to VO. And so this actually doesn't use up your credits either. And this has nothing to do with converting PowerPoints, but I'm just telling you right now they're giving away VO for free within Google Vids. And it doesn't count as part of your credits, because I think they're just trying to figure out what the problems are with Google Vids. And there are a few little issues. I'm not going to go into them now. But anyway, you do have other options over here as well. So you can build this out. Unlike in Synthesia, where you get the static image of the slide and everything is locked in place, here you can say, well, I want to swap this out with something else, or I want to move it around, or whatever. You have full control. Plus, you have the avatars and the voiceover built in, and they are not charging any credits for that right now either. The only limit I've seen then is this 500 credits for the avatar. So while we're waiting on this to render, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be doing a full tutorial here on Google Vids so that you know how to use this, use every single feature and build some really cool videos. It's actually a pretty slick little builder. And the fact that it is free is pretty crazy, because, I mean, just getting access to this kind of video builder costs money. And you're getting that along with a ton of other stuff with Gemini. So I've paid for video editors that do most of the things you see here. It does have a few limits. There's a few changes I would like to see, but for a starter, this is pretty amazing. Okay, let's take a look. Now, of course, we would want her to be smaller, and we probably want her to be in a circle. So I'm going to go ahead and crop with a circle. And I need to actually make that a circle, so I need to make some cropping here. Okay, good enough. There we go. Let's just put her right at the... Actually, let me make her bigger so you can play it and really see what she looks like. Okay.
Arguably the most important element of any quality photograph, lighting. Getting this right can completely transform your images, so don't take these tips lightly. First and foremost, use natural lighting whenever possible. The absolute best light of the day happens during what's called the golden hour.
Okay. So then when you're ready to export this as a video, you're going to go up here to share, and you're going to either export it to Drive, where it will just be saved in your Drive, or you can download it as an MP4, you know, right here once you've done all your adjustments. So that is Google Vids. That is my #1 choice right now, just because you have so many editing features and it's really cheap. I mean, even if you were just going to pay the $20 a month for the Gemini subscription just to use Google Vids, that actually is a bargain. So let me know what you think, and share some of the videos that you've made. Share them down in the comments so we can check them out and see which one we like the best. Have a great day.